Hi, I'm Kylie Roberts.
And I'm Mel Womwell, and we are Shift Unlimited.
In this podcast series, we will be doing a deeper dive into many facets of living and leading in this modern world, from founder to scale up, right through to leaders of global established organizations.
We will explore how we can be more holistic and authentic as we connect more deeply with ourselves, our relationships with others, and the wider world.
Let's begin. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Shift Unlimited podcast, where we will be doing a deeper exploration of Robert Dilts's neurological levels of change. It's a model that we mentioned in an earlier podcast, I think it might have been podcast 25, on the bedrock practices of transformational leadership and coaching. Today's episode is one where we would invite you to actively engage in it. So for that, you will need physical space you can stand and walk in, and also headspace where you can listen and practice with us without any interruption. So bring some pen and paper with you as well to this episode. If you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see the image that brings Robert Dilts's logical levels to life a little bit better. There's also an image in the show notes as well. This model is a model developed by Robert Dilts, and it's adapted from the work of Gregory Bateson. In summary, it provides a framework for deeper reflection and inquiry, and also looking at challenges from several different levels. So you can see in the image what those levels are. The logical levels are the environmental level, the where and the when and the with whom. So it's focused on location and context. Behavior, so what we're doing, our actions, our thoughts, our reactions. Capability, the abilities that we have, our competence and our knowledge. Beliefs and values, this is the why, what we believe and hold important to us, our motivation, our purpose, our true north. Identity, so our identity is who we are. This is about the roles that we play, it's how we see ourselves. And then spirituality, faith, religion, the bigger picture, and our place in the grand scheme of all things.
These levels are not a hierarchy. They all connect to each other and all influence each other. They're useful for setting outcomes, analysing problems and opportunities, taking decisions, understanding confusion and uncertainty. As we've said before, we can learn a lot about ourselves and others by listening to language and how we emphasize certain words. For example, take the sentence, "I can't do that here." When the I is stressed, "I can't do that here," it's a statement about identity. When the can't is stressed, it's a statement about belief. When the do is stressed, it's a statement about capability. When the that is stressed, it's a statement about behavior. And when the here is stressed, it's a statement about environment.
Which level you might be stuck on, you will know what sort of resources you need. For example, if it's the environment level that you're stuck on, do you need more information about the situation? If it's the behavior level, do you have enough information? But do you know exactly what to do? Capability, do you know what to do but doubt your ability to do it? Beliefs and values, do you have the ability but don't want to do it or not think it's important? Identity, do you feel it's a good thing to do but it's not really you? There are a couple of powerful experiments you can do to build yours or others' resources and congruence by using Dilts's neurological levels. The first is best done with a partner who can talk and walk you through the process. It's also a really powerful coaching process when you're working with a coachee or a team member or a colleague. And then the second is a personal reflection and inquiry process best done away from the office in a space that is safe and quiet and conducive to reflection and thought. We will walk through both of these processes now. And if you're in a place where you can do one or even both of these, we invite you to join in with us. Just pause the podcast as required if your thinking needs to be longer. And we'll start the process that the one that we mentioned first up, that is great if you do it with a partner or a coach. So today we will be your partner.
So step one is find a space where you can move forwards and backwards, taking steps both directions, several steps. And then take a moment to think of a difficult situation or relationship where you feel stuck and you'd just like to have more choice. Now take a few deep, slow breaths and bring your attention to your body. Get grounded and comfortable with your arms hanging gently at your sides. Take a moment to recall the situation or scenario where you feel stuck and put yourself at 100% responsibility for how you are being, what you have created, what you're being like in the environment where you typically experience this situation. So think more deeply now about what is the environment and context. Where are you? Who is around you? What do you particularly notice about this environment?
Now take a step back so that you're on the level of behavior. And as you think about this challenge, this relationship or situation, what are you doing? How are you behaving? Think about how you're holding your body, your facial movements, your physical movements with your hands and your body, your actions and your thoughts. What is your behavior creating in this environment?
Then when you're ready, take another step back. Now you're on the capability level. So as you think about this situation, think about all the skills you have available. Which ones are you using? And which ones are you not using yet? What other great mental strategies do you have available? What is the quality of your thinking? How are you communicating? And what communication skills do you have? What are your best qualities that serve you well? What do you do well in any context that you could do in this particular situation?
And when you're ready, take another step backwards again. And now you're on the level of beliefs and values. And as you think about this situation, what is important to you? What do you find worthwhile about what you do? What empowering beliefs do you have about yourself? And what empowering beliefs do you have about others? And what principles do you use as your compass?
When you're ready, take a further step back so that you're on a level of identity. Think about your unique personality and identity and your roles in life. Who are you in this environment? What is your role? What is your purpose in life? What sort of person are you? What do you want to leave as a legacy? What symbol or idea comes to your mind that seems to express your personal identity? And when you've done all this thinking, take a moment to reflect on the insights you've gotten so far as part of this process. What have you learned?
And now take this improved sense of who you are, your identity, and step forward to the level of your beliefs and values. Maintain the positive new physiology. And when you're back here in the beliefs and values level, ask yourself, what is important now? What do you believe now? What do you want to be important? And what do you want to believe?
And when you've done that, take this new sense of beliefs and values and purpose and step forward into the capability level. Remember to take the new physiology with you as well as any empowering thoughts. How are your skills and capabilities transformed and intensified? How can you use your skills in the best possible way to get the best possible outcome? How do you feel differently about your ability to deal with this situation?
And maintaining this positive physiology and positive thought pattern, step forwards to the behavior level. And as you think again about what you are doing in this typically difficult situation, what has changed?
Now step forward into your real present environment right now. How is it different when you bring these levels of yourself to it? You may want to take a moment to capture your insights and learnings before moving on with the podcast. So if that's the case, please do that now.
So that's a really powerful process that Mel and I use a lot when we are working with teams and groups, but also one-to-one, particularly when we're working with them in person. The second way to work with Diltz's neurological levels is to do the following deeper reflection and inquiry and journaling on it. Recent research suggests that less than 1 in 3 people has a good reason to get out of bed each morning. Purpose and bravely exploring our past, who we are, and deep self-inquiry is fundamental to health and happiness. It's known now that increasing the quality of your sleep will add 7 years to your life and reduce stress. So here's an opportunity to start to repack your life bags. We will start at the level of purpose and identity because it's the foundation to everything. So grab your pen and paper and capture some of these questions, maybe come back to them at the end of the podcast for a longer reflection. So at the level of identity and purpose, we start at who are you? When you search inside yourself, beyond your roles and the masks that you wear, who are you really? What are you like on good, great, average, and bad days? What are the ways you classify yourself? For example, your age, your sexuality, happy-go-lucky, sensitive, strong or weak. What are the secret parts of your identity that you choose not to share? And write down about the kind of person you are deep in the core of your being that you identify as being the true you. And perhaps even include here your true north or your purpose if you know that from having explored that with us or even on our previous podcast. Why do you exist? What's your true north, your ikigai, your raison d'etre? What are you here to do in your life that you love to do that needs doing? It makes a positive difference in the world. It doesn't have to be momentous. Could be something really momentous for you by doing good in the world.
When you've done that reflection, it's time to move on to the level of beliefs and values. Our values are the things we feel most strongly about. They guide us in our decision making and help us evaluate what's right and wrong. What do you feel strongly about? Really strongly about? What and who are the most important things and people to you in your life? What empowering beliefs do you have about yourself that build your confidence and give you courage? What limiting beliefs do you have about yourself that you know hold you back and stop you doing things that you'd really like to do? What core principles do you use as your compass in your life and in your work?
And then thinking about skills and experience and capability, think about all the skills and capabilities you have available to you to help you to achieve what you want to in life. What are they? What are your best qualities that serve you well? What do you do well in any context? Your skills, your experience, and your capabilities.
And then reflection on behavior. How do you think others close to you would describe you? Describe your personality and behavior. The good stuff, the great stuff, the not so great stuff. What would people at work say about you in the wider organization outside of your team? How would your team describe you? How would your boss describe you? How would your family talk about you if you weren't in the room? How has your behavior changed over the years? And what behaviors would you like to evolve and develop over the next few months and years?
And finally, the environment. What are the places and environments where you are your best self? Describe them. Describe the locations, the places, the colors. And then once you've done that, reflect on what you've written as a whole here. How are you feeling about what you've written? Your reflections on all the levels. What disruption and experimentation of your rituals and your routines and your patterns would you like to do? And how will you do that? We invite you to continue to reflect on these questions over the next few days. You may want to replay the podcast episode a few times as well, so that you can see how your thinking shifts and changes depending on your mood and any feedback maybe that you receive from others. You could even ask about these questions. The logical levels model has the potential to take us to places of awareness and deep transformation. We've experienced this ourselves with both of the practices we've shared here with you today, and we also experience it time and again with our clients who are willing and ready to drop into this type of questioning and honesty for themselves. In the Bedrock Practices episode, we shared the RIDE acronym with you, where reflection, inquiry, disruption, and experimentation are post conventional practices that really enable us to live fluidly and lightly in today's world. Reflection is the starting point of awareness. And the logical levels is one powerful reflection tool that you can use with your team, your clients, and yourself. So our time's up for today. Thank you for listening. Once again, you can click to subscribe to our podcast channel and also come over and follow us on Instagram at shift_unlimited. See you next time.